you believe that children are being by pedophiles in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police. In fact, if anybody wants to go back to 1993 when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information, but they were scanning Michael Jackson. All they cared about was trying to find something on Michael Jackson.
She sat down, the baby bump squashed, bent, and crumpled.
Wanting to scale the wall to get in his house because on the other side of that wall is Beyonce, Jay-Z, and every big star you want to know. T.D. Jakes was there too, but I don't know if he was busting open. I'm just saying. Because they said that too about the good Bishop.
Jay-Z has exhibited signs of envy, jealousy, hate, and stopping bags behind the scenes, allegedly. Why is it always the same story? So that means Nas made all of that stuff up. DMX made all of that stuff up.
Now you kind of look at him like scoundrels. What won't you do for that damn career? Listen, this is a disgusting business. That's all I'm gonna say. This business is so disgusting that I can't. I think that Jay-Z and Beyonce are master manipulators.
Hold up. Did Beyonce just get massively exposed by Jason Lee, Nicki Minaj, and Wendy Williams? It looks like 2026 is going to be a rough year for our girl Beyonce, and she has no one to blame but herself. Word on the street is that she had something to do with Wendy's conservatorship, and now she was allegedly working with some higher-ups at Roc Nation to also throw Nicki in a conservatorship too. Jason Lee has been on Beyonce's neck for a hot minute, even exposing major details about the time he caught her and Jay-Z red-handed at a party at Diddy's house. But baby, the things he is saying about her now are even worse than anything he has ever said. Now, for those of y'all who didn't know, Jason Lee was very close to Diddy at some point because he was working with him at Revolt TV, so he got a lot of access to your favorite celebrities. And baby, it looks like he was doing way more than working because he has receipts for days. And yes, they include incriminating evidence against Beyonce and Jay-Z. He first came for Beyonce after she didn't invite him to her Renaissance film premiere.
I'm gonna tell them while Johnny puts a beep over this part of the show, so you'll never know what it is, but I want you to see their reactions, and I'm going to do it right now. Ooh, and that's where I go back to, like, we're friends in the game. We support each other. We help each other out. Can you imagine had I put that on Hollywood Law? Oh, there's one more thing. Keep this, Johnny.
Woo!
So that in itself, I think Beyonce could have gave me a, you know what I mean? Like, there should be a little love there. Now,
maybe she doesn't know.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce, and they're not going to share that with her.
Yvette knows. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts. Yvette know I got the receipts. I got them. Now if I get that message to Beyonce,
yes,
I can get it to I'm connected. I could get the message to Beyonce.
She needs to know.
And I think people like her publicist, who I love, and I'm just being critical. That's just what I do. You know that, Yvette. We're trying to book Kelly Rowland right now. Now, if I don't get Kelly Rowland because I say this about, then it's gonna be a problem. Then I'm putting out receipts. The receipts I just told you about, then I'll put those out.
The fires that will come of that.
I ain't worried. I ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you right now, I'm not playing this industry game.
At the time, a lot of folks weren't feeling Jason's little outburst. He sounded real entitled, and honestly, it seemed like the only reason he was coming for Beyonce was that she didn't put him on the guest list. But once people learned about the supposed connections Beyonce and Jay had to Diddy and Epstein, suddenly everybody was like, wait, maybe he was actually onto something this whole time. Jason Lee came back with more claims about Beyonce and Jay when he hopped on IG Live to drop the names of people he personally witnessed at Diddy's parties. He called out Tiana Taylor, Jordan Woods, Travis Scott, Blac Chyna, Usher, DaBaby, Justin Bieber, Tyrese, Amber Rose, Mary J. Blige, and of course, Beyonce and Jay-Z.
You know, a lot of these celebrities, every single celebrity in the culture has been to Diddy's house, which means they've gone through all his phones, text messages. I can read you my text message to Diddy. What day is it airing on the show, on the network? Are you coming on the show? Diddy, what's this? It's all been business for me. It's been business for me. I don't have nothing inappropriate to them people because I don't deal with them like that. So you mean to tell me all those late nights, what you doing, where you at? Yeah, at his house. I've seen TD Jakes at his house. I've seen Chris Brown at his house. I've seen Jordan Woods at his house. I've seen Travis Scott at his house. I've seen Beyonce at his house. I've seen Tiana Taylor. I've seen them all. Now, we was all in the backyard, but I've seen them all. I've seen Usher there. I've seen DaBaby there. I've seen Justin Bieber there. I've seen... Everybody's been to a Diddy party. I've seen Lindsay Lohan, Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Tyrese, Amber Rose. I've seen them all have been there. Mary J. Blige.
Oh, but he wasn't finished, y'all. Just days after he dropped that post, he was back at it again, claiming Jay and Beyoncé supposedly sent their people after him once they heard what he said about them. He said Beyoncé and Jay had allegedly been calling him non-stop, trying to get him to take back what he said and even defend them publicly, but he refused.
Why would I, Jason Lee, I'm getting calls. And I haven't even said anything. Go there. I stopped a major thing for Beyonce. Jay-Z and Beyonce is going to see this. I am exhausted with people calling me about Jay-Z and Beyonce. You've never called for anything else. And I haven't even said anything about you yet. And yet I'm getting all these calls. I've gotten more calls over the weekend about Jay-Z and Beyonce. But I will tell you, to the audience, if I do come up missing, all the calls I've been getting been about him.
But it didn't end there, y'all, because right around the time that Jason started calling Beyoncé out was when Nicki Minaj also started going off on them for trying to literally delete him. Now, initially, Nicki was really going after Jay-Z, but word on the street is she also found out that Beyoncé was involved in the sneaky things that were going on, but was pretending to act innocent, and she wasted no time dragging her in too. Like, for example, when she was putting out all those tweets about Jay-Z and even accusing him of owing her $200 million, Beyoncé posted a Sir Davis whiskey promo on IG, and Nicki threw shade at her by making this tweet that said, "Robot on timing." Now, mind you, even before this, she was on Station Head playing her song with Beyoncé called Feeling Myself. And while she was there, she was telling her fans that just because she plays a song that she collaborated on with an artist in the past doesn't mean she actually likes the said artist. And since her and Beyoncé's song was the song that was playing when she said this, it really wasn't hard for folks to figure out who she was talking about when she said this.
Like music, it doesn't mean that I rock with the person or whatever. Like, I really want y'all to notice. I hate to have to say this. What we doing? Like, are we rocking with, or we ain't rocking with and that's why I love them. That's why I love y'all. But, so I just wanted to make that disclaimer. So everybody know from now till whenever, okay? Just because I play a song that I happen to be featured on, don't mean shit. See, and kick them right in my throat.
But baby, Nicki really took things far when she joined in on the whole Epstein conversation and flat out accused both Beyoncé and Jay-Z of being involved. She claimed that Jay-Z is a raging PDF file and that he and Beyoncé have allegedly been munching on little people as a form of sacrifice to remain at the top. Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and end them as a form of a blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up. Tasha K also stepped into the chat and spilled some major tea, which had everyone wondering if Beyoncé was also involved in that extremely shady guardianship that Wendy Williams was caught up in. So this came after Tasha revealed that she got an exclusive from someone at Roc Nation, that Beyoncé and Jay-Z have allegedly been plotting to get Nicki in a guardianship too, just like Wendy. Apparently, they would have already succeeded by now if she weren't married. And if you take a look at all the celebrities who were thrown into a conservatorship, none of them were married. Britney wasn't married, and Wendy was divorced by the time Wells Fargo gave her a guardian. If they were married, it would have been much harder for her to be put in a guardianship.
This is not something that is like a conspiracy theory. This actually happens. But if they're able to separate Nicki and Kenny, that makes Nicki vulnerable because your husband is your power of attorney. Your husband is your signator on all of your accounts in the event anything goes wrong. Michael wasn't married. Britney Spears was married, but of course they control all of that. And so the mere fact that all these narratives are out about Kenny stealing this to buy chains and buy that, that's not what it is. It's like, you know, they got doctors that are giving out these diagnoses saying that she's schizophrenic and bipolar and all of this stuff. And then Kenny's now here. You know, she trusts Kenny. Of course, they've known each other since they were kids. Their families know each other. And so Kenny is just in the way. And so what do? You create narratives to try to separate, because if you separate, then you can divide and conquer. And so that's what it's about. You know, she's going into her latter years and, you know, there's a lot of money on the line and she's worth a lot, but Kenny is in the way. And so, yeah, I mean, look at what they're doing to Wendy Williams. Had Wendy would have still been with Kelvin, they wouldn't have been able to put her under a conservatorship because she has a husband. So, you know, and like I said, there was only one that was stealing. We're gonna leave it at that. Okay.
It's now being speculated that these reports about Wendy being misdiagnosed aren't a coincidence like the industry wants us to believe. Allegedly, someone really powerful and they pulled major strings to make that happen because Wendy had been sitting on evidence connected to Diddy and Epstein thing, and she needed to be silenced so she could not make things even worse. And honestly, this makes sense because Wendy had multiple independent evaluations done to prove she wasn't mentally ill, and none of them got taken seriously. Actually, even before all this stuff about Beyoncé supposedly being connected to Epstein surfaced, Wendy had already called out Beyoncé. Now, some of y'all might not recall this, but back in 2011, Beyoncé had the internet going crazy when her alleged baby bump literally folded and collapsed on live television. And the wild part is that even though we all literally witnessed this happen in real time, her team still had the nerve to try damage control by posting these pictures of her in a bikini to prove her bump was legit. Mind you, the photos they used looked like any woman who just had a big meal at Thanksgiving. Girl, a lot of folks weren't buying it, and that included Wendy. She got on her show the next day and went off on Beyoncé for supposedly faking her pregnancy. Wendy even brought up Kathy White's name. You know, Jay-Z's alleged pregnant mistress that Beyoncé had taken out. Anyway, Wendy bringing Kathy up was very risky because at the time, no major media outlet was saying a word about her. The whole Kathy situation was just one of those things where if you knew, you knew. And if you didn't, then you simply didn't.
As alleged mistress away. Beyonce is going to use a surrogate so she can maintain, but they're going to play it off like it's allegedly, you know, that they gave birth.
Oh, and Wendy wasn't lying about Beyoncé only having 3 people in the room when she supposedly gave birth, because it lines up with what actually went down. Beyoncé reportedly dropped over $1.3 million to rent out the entire floor of the hospital just to deliver her baby. What could Beyoncé possibly be hiding that she had to pay $1.3 million to have the whole floor to herself? And then there are the wild allegations that Jay-Z's ex-best friend Larry Johnson made against Beyoncé, claiming that he saw her thirsting over 18-year-olds at a Hollywood party. Larry and Jay-Z were tight back in the day, until that friendship mysteriously ended. Now, of course, at the time, no one actually knew why they stopped messing with each other. But according to Larry, it's because he called Beyoncé out on her alleged love for doing sneaky things with underage people.
Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house. And we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to have been like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking loud music and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me. So when I hear something like this happens, I can't really discount it and say, oh, he could never do this, because I'm hearing stories, I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I've been in situations where something don't sound or look right, and it's usually involving children.
Girl, I don't know what is going on with these Hollywood elites and why they all seem to love doing weird stuff, but baby Jason, Wendy, and Nicki might really want to update their security, because if all these roommates are true, then their lives are in danger. And in the meantime, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, and people do believe Nicki, trust me. She doesn't say much about behind-the-scenes stuff, so when she does, people listen. I think Nicki is tired of them all. Another person said, Beyonce, God has a plan for you. You can't escape. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Jason Lee, Nicki, and Wendy Williams all coming out to expose Beyonce? And do you really think Beyonce is capable of doing the things she's being accused of? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.